Rental properties, they're going to get a routine inspection. Landlords, what should your agent be doing? Tenants, what should your agent be doing? Make sure they're not a meathead. Stay tuned.
I'm the ringleader, so listen up.
Was it you that thought of the word meathead or me?
No, that's a Novat word, meathead.
Like, that's just that. I don't know why that's such a funny word.
I used a word a little less woke.
A little less woke.
Anyway, it's all
Um,
good.
yeah, so it happens, Claire. And today you went bang, 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 bang with all these things that were like taboo in routine inspections. So we were like, let's share this with tenants out there and landlords out there. Your knowledge. You're a property manager of 15 years, expert. Tell us about routine inspections. What are they first?
It's a way for the agent and the owner to address any issues, have a look at how the tenants are keeping the property, any maintenance issues that may arise. Also, it's to look at wear and tear and future renovations that you can plan and budget for. Mainly, the first one is in 3 months. So that first inspection is usually there to see how the tenants treat the property. They're new tenants, the owner doesn't know them. Um, the tenant also doesn't know the relationship with the landlord so much for 3 months that they've only been there. So it's a way for us to meet, see how everyone's doing, and address any issues right off the bat in the beginning. You can do 4 routine inspections per year. The landlords can do 4. I feel that might increase with these new laws just based on the fact that pets are going to be a lot more in properties. I feel landlords with floorboards will be concerned a lot more. And just in general, people with pets, owners that may not have approved a pet in the past are going to be really conscious of how the tenants are keeping that property when they've got a pet inside.
So it's the first routine inspection. I'm the tenant. Real estate agent's coming. What are the norms? So you just sort of give it a good once over, yeah.
Yeah, so most agents will do a video of some type. Written reports are a thing of the past. If your agent's still just doing a written report, they're, probably, yeah, those reports are inferior to video. Video, you can zoom in, you can rewind, you can watch over and over, you can use it in cat. It's just way better. And yeah, well, our agency is using AI for routine inspections as well, which is great. It helps minimize time. It collates things easily for us and the landlord, and we can focus more on addressing maintenance issues and, negotiating with the tenants and arranging things rather than typing up a report. So
Wow, 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 wow.
that's huge.
And so we're now using AI for all of our routine inspections. That's cool. So what are the normal opposite? What are the trouble moments with these routine inspections where it's like, oh,
One is addressing damage and tenants not being clean. Our agents that come and do inspections, a lot of them are mature people, they're homeowners, they've been tenants, they've been landlords, having a trained eye to see what you are looking for. A young person, as much as we love them in our office, let's face it, sometimes their mum still cleans their room. So if they're going to do an inspection at a property, they're going to be just like, yep, looks good to me, everything's clean. Whereas our agents are looking at a lot of, details, attention to details, even dust. Like if you're not dusting your fly screens regularly, those fly screens are going to have to be changed in 6 months' time. The buildup of dust perishes the wire, and then the landlord will have to get new fly screens. So not many people check fly screens when they're at properties. We do. You know, things like that, what to look for, upkeeping a property. You know, you have to regularly clean ovens. If you don't, you just have it dirty for the entire 3 years or whatever, the oven's going to be pretty much ruined. It's got to be maintained. So just the cleaning alone, just, I mean, we're not going there. People have got to live. We understand that. It's just more of a maintenance things if things build up. So if we go to the first inspection and we notice, oh, the bathroom wasn't that great, then we come back for another 6 months and the bathroom's even worse and then worse, and then that can escalate. So we're in that maintenance cycle where we're looking at things progressively in the future, for the property, for the owner. And that's why our agents are experienced in looking for certain things. There's also maintenance issues like leaks, common property, wet carpet, all that sort of stuff that sometimes tenants don't tell you about, which is shocking. I know you think, oh my gosh, most tenants will say there's a leak. Not always. I've been to a property where the wall's rotten and behind it, in front of it's a tall boy in the bathroom. And you can clearly see something's not right there, but the tenants just go to work, they come home, they forget about it. It's not hindering their day to day, but that wall is slowly getting more and more damaged. So at a routine inspection, we do like to look for things like that. Make sure the shower's been sealed. If it's not sealed, all these things are preventative for major works down the line. That's another reason we do inspections, to prevent costly repairs later down the track.
Yeah, right. So it's not always it's not a witch hunt. It's just which you automatically think straight away with the tenant when the agent's coming. It's actually even just checking structural stuff. It's
Yeah.
g'day, it's to say g'day, to see how it's going. But I find it interesting that tenants don't repair stuff. Probably they probably don't want to disrupt the landlord or the agent, or they don't want to stir up the apple cart. So they just don't say anything, but it ends up costing a lot more money. Wow.
Yeah, there's so many types of tenant behaviors in a property. You know, not everyone's the same.
Yeah.
Some people work a lot and they come home to afford the rent. I understand, they're coming home late. They eat their
Yeah.
dinner, watch a bit of shows, and then go to bed. So that's what we're looking at. Also with houses, doing routine inspections for big houses is really crucial. You've got trees, you've got guttering, you've got neighboring fences, retaining walls, all these things. I once had to go underneath the house and crawl under there with the spiders, and it wasn't fun. But yeah, like with houses, you have to really look for bigger things, not just what you look for in a 2-bedroom unit. I've had a property where bamboo was put in. And if those of you that don't know, bamboo grows really quickly. And I came back in 6 months and it was like Thailand in the backyard. The neighbors were all blocked out, which was the entire reason these tenants put this bamboo in. But
Far
then the
out.
landlord wasn't happy with it. They wanted it gone. So, things like that we also look for.
So, is there ever security issues? So, when you do a routine inspection, does you ever feel like, oh shit, I don't feel comfortable in here or stuff like that, or is it always just cool? You rock in, rock out. Is there ever like disputes with a tenant or anything like that, or is it just always smooth sailing?
Look, I haven't had really any unsafe moments, maybe one or two where I felt a bit uneasy about the
Yeah.
tenants. Generally, I feel where we are today as a society and a community on the Northern Beaches, we don't have a lot of that anymore. When I first started, there was a little bit more of a, I don't know, I wouldn't say crime scene, but it was a little bit more dodge in properties now, so I don't feel that way.
Yes.
Um, yeah, so I think, I mean, obviously rents have pushed a lot of that out, but that's a bit taboo to say, but it's true. Um, but yeah, generally speaking, no. I did have a tenant that wasn't with Link Housing or whatever, but he was mentally challenged, and he was a big guy, and I did not like doing inspections there on my own. I did have the owner attend later within that tenancy, and he was
Oh.
fine, but he wasn't all there, and it was a little apartment in Newport, and I was just, fresh out of TAFE. I just didn't like being in there. I just had that vibe.
Oh. Tell me,
So
do you recommend a landlord come to all the routine inspections, any routine inspections? What do you think about landlord attendance?
I think it's great. I mean, for the owners that live overseas, our videos are crucial for them. But for the ones that live locally, I think it's a great idea. Meeting tenants and coming in and having a look. Sometimes an email or the way tenants report things can be misconstrued in tone. And when you're there, you can actually see for yourself what's irking the tenant and
Have a
why.
chat.
And yeah, and put yourself in their shoes and vice versa. And even, as much as it makes the agent's job a bit easier, because that way both sides can see how we negotiate, approval for, blinds and all these things
Okay.
that tenants ask for, and they think we're not doing, you know, sometimes landlords want to come and have a look, see if it matches what the colors are like, this and that. And they think, oh, we're just taking time. But it might be that the owner themselves wants a decision process in that, whole transaction. So, and also they just get to come and have a look, seeing something with your own eyes rather than, on the computer screen can sometimes be more beneficial. Um,
But
one other thing with routine.
if you're a landlord, don't break the golden rule. Don't give your mobile number or email address to the tenant when you see them.
It's true. It's true. I've
Leave,
never
leave it,
ever heard that going well.
leave it to your managing agent. Trust me.
It's
If
true.
you're a
We're,
tenant
we're
out there,
experienced.
get if you're
Yeah.
a tenant out there, get the landlord's number and email address. If you're not with Novak.
Oh my God, I know. Look, as much as an owner might think it's easier to cut us out of the middle and deal directly with the tenants, just wait till there's that
Oh
emergency
my
job
god.
Christmas Day at 12
Oh
o'clock
my
at
god.
night.
It is the golden rule.
um,
It is the golden
It's
rule.
true. It's true. And one other thing I wanted to touch on quickly was swimming pools. When you're at routine inspection, swimming pools are also something that we inspect thoroughly. Sometimes the pool people aren't doing what they say they're doing. Sometimes the tenants aren't putting enough chemicals in. A pool is another thing that has to be monitored and looked at regularly throughout the
Uh,
tenancy, with leaks and cracks and, pavers, compliancy, all that sort of stuff. So yes, I'm dealing with one at the moment, gum trees over the pool, filters broken, all that sort of stuff.
oh,
Seeing it is important. Yeah.
great advice, expert property manager Cleo. And before we go, I just wanted to pass on my condolences.
For what exactly? The swimming pools?
Val, Val Kilmer.
I know it's a sad day in our household. We're big Val Kilmer fans. He died too young, just like Patrick Swayze and all of them Hollywood greats. It's sad.
Too
The
young.
Doors, what a
He
movie.
really blew.
Tombstone,
He really.
wow.
He blew out. He blew out though. I've seen some photos the last 5 years, and I was like, "Oh, do
Yeah, he
you
got
remember him in
cancer. It
Top
was
Gun?"
sick.
Wow.
Oh, who doesn't remember him in Top Gun? I think, yeah, I think he looked the best as Jim Morrison, but he also looked just as good in Top Gun for sure. Yeah, no,
Wow.
he.
Anyway, our respects go out to the family, to Val Kilmer today, and what an actor, what a legacy, what movies he made.
Yeah, I believe Netflix is going to be blowing up in the next months or so. When anyone passes, all the movies come on, and that's, I guess, one of the perks. We can watch him in our home forever. So yeah.
Ain't that the truth? I've got to watch that movie. What's the one I've got to watch? Tombstone.
You got to watch Tombstone. I can't believe at your age you have not seen Tombstone. That was like on par
All
with The
right,
Dorks.
all right. I'll
All
watch it
right,
tonight. Watch it tonight.
after work. Bye, guys.
Nah, at work. See you, legend.
Yes,
Take care.
at work. Bye, bye,
Bye,
bye.
bye, bye, bye.